Hola, hello everyone. Welcome to this webinar of Bariloche, Closer to You. Thank you for joining us today. My name is Ariel Cohen. I am part of the team at the National Institute of Tourism Promotion in Argentina. I work as a market coordinator. I would like to introduce to Mr. Eduardo Piva, from our director from our office in Miami for all the North American countries. Hello, Eduardo, how are you?
Hi, hello everyone. Good afternoon and good morning in the West Coast, for the West Coast in the States and Canada. I'm Eduardo Piva, Director of the Argentina Tourist Office for the North American region, based here in Miami. And it's a pleasure to welcome you to this webinar about the amazing destinations Bariloche in the Argentinian Patagonia. As you know, Bariloche is a great destination and one of the most important destinations in Patagonia. I want to introduce now Mariana Cadra, who will be in charge of updating about this destination. Thank you very much and have a nice trip.
Thank you.
Hi,
hello,
how
Mariana.
are you? Hi, everyone. Well, first of all, I want to thank you all for being here today. And I want to give special thanks to INPROTUR for giving us this space, which I think is really important to keep in touch with you. So, Eduardo, Ariel, thank you very much. As you've been told, I am Mariana. I work for Bariloche's Tourism Board. And today I'm going to talk about Bariloche and the vast range of activities the city offers all year long. So, should we start, Ariel?
Yes, just two things before we start. There is a special field where you can write all the questions, okay? So during the webinar, you can write there, and we are going to reply them during the webinar or maybe also at the end of the webinar. Also, this webinar is being recorded, and we will be sending an email just a few hours after we finish, so you will be free to share it and to just check again, so no problem with that. So first of all, we are going to a short video of Argentina, and then we are coming back. No problem. We are coming back to the presentation. No, that's fine. Okay, so turn off the webcams. Thanks. Okay, now yes, Mariana, if you could take us to Patagonia, to Bariloche, we are really appreciate it.
Okay, perfect. Thank you, Ariel. Well, let's start with basics. We are located in the northern part of Patagonia, very close to the Andean range, and in the heart of the Nahuel Huapi National Park, which happens to be Argentina's first national park. The city is at a 2-hour flight from Buenos Aires, and we are known as the main entrance to Patagonia, mainly because of the touristic development the city has. The city receives 1 million tourists per year, and we have 4 air companies that connect us with the rest of the country through main cities such as Mendoza, Córdoba, Rosario, Buenos Aires, and Calafate. We also have a non-stop flight to São Paulo, Brazil with Azul Airlines. As I told you before, we are really close to Chile, so we have a very good connection with them through Cardenal Zamoré crossing and through the Pérez Rosales crossing, which you can only exit through the Andean crossing, which I'll talk about in a few minutes. Our airport is at 40 kilometers from town, and it works as an air hub for the whole region. We are going to talk about accommodation. The city offers 700 hotels, which means more or less 30,000 beds. Here we are talking about a vast range of types of accommodation, such as 5, 4, and 3-star hotels, cottages, bungalows, hostels, apartments, bed and breakfast. The city really offers a vast range of accommodation for every type of budget and every type of needs, depending on what your clients are looking for. About gastronomy. Well, here you'll be able to enjoy the experience of our Patagonian flavors. Smoked deer, trout, venison, our Patagonian lamb, mushrooms, chocolates, blueberries, and crafted beers are part of our DNA, and you'll be able to enjoy them in our more than 200 restaurants. A few years ago, the business of crafted beers began to grow up, and nowadays we have 2 beer tours in the city. The first one is located downtown, where the most traditional local brands are located, and the other one is along the excursion of Circuito Chico. I'll talk about in a few minutes too. But if you are looking for something really different, well, we have a recommendation for you. You should go on Sundays to Colonia Suiza, which is an European settlement, where you'll find a very traditional dish named curanto. This is an ancient dish which used to be prepared by the indigenous people who inhabited this region, and it's about digging a hole in the earth. They put hot stones there, and then they cover it with some special leaves like the nalca leaves. Then they put the different types of vegetables, meats. They cover it up with more leaves, earth, and they leave it there to cook for almost 3 hours. It's not just about the flavor here, the difference in these kind of flavors, but if not the experience of seeing how they prepare this dish. So we recommend to go perhaps not really near to midday, perhaps in the morning, like 10 o'clock, and to experience how they prepare this incredible dish. Well, here we have a little bit of our temperatures. We'll talk about our peak seasons. During summer, our maximum is 21 degrees, although some days we have a temperature still 27, 28 degrees, and the minimum is 5 degrees. In winter, the maximum is 7 degrees, and the minimum is -1, although today we are having -10 degrees, but it's something really rare. Most of the time we are in -1, and it's a really comfortable temperature. As I start talking about activities, you'll see that Bariloche is an all-season destination. Although summer and winter are our peak season, tourists will find lots of traditional excursions and adventure activities during the whole year. Really, the city invites to be visited more than once, and I can assure you that the experience in every season will be completely different. Now we are going to talk about our lakes and rivers, and we are going to start with the traditional activities. The first one is the Andean crossing. This is one of my favorites because it's a binational tour. that connects Bariloche in Argentina with Puerto Varas in Chile. This tour, you can take it either from Chile or from Bariloche, and it's a whole day excursion. Here, I like to say that it's like navigating the Andean range, because you are crossing the range, and part of this tour will be by ferry and some other parts will be by bus. This tour will make a stop at midday in Peulla, which is an ecologic villa in Chile's side, where you'll be able to have lunch, and perhaps if you want so, you can hire some adventure activities, and then you continue the trip. Yes, you can also spend the night there, and we always recommend to spend the night if the passengers are doing this trip during winter, because here it gets dark really early and you'll be missing really thrilling views to volcanoes, the Valdivian jungle, forest, emerald lakes. The excursion, it really has incredible views, and if during winter you do it in one day, perhaps you'll be missing lots of these beautiful landscapes. Well, then you have Victoria Island and Myrtle Forest. This excursion leaves from Puerto Pañuelo, which is really near from the Hotel Xiao Xiao, at 24 kilometers from town. And here you'll be navigating the Nahuel Huapi Lake. It is a half-a-day excursion, and you can get the ferry that leaves at 10 o'clock or the one that leaves at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. You will be arriving town almost 6 o'clock in the afternoon. As I told you, you'll be navigating the Nahuel Huapi Lake till you get to Peninsula Quetrihué, where people will walk through the trails of this special forest, and then they will continue the navigation to Victoria Island. There you'll find ancient paintings from the indigenous people who inhabited there, and you'll be able to enjoy some of the trails this island has. The next excursion is Puerto Blest and Cascada de los Cántaros. This is a whole day excursion that leaves from Puerto Pañuelo as well. It will be leaving at 10 o'clock in the morning, and you'll be arriving at 6 o'clock in the afternoon. This excursion has a breathtaking view of the Cascada de los Cántaros and the vegetation of the Valdivian rainforest. It's a really gorgeous excursion. And there you'll find a hotel, the Blest Hotel, which is, it has been renewed a few years ago, and you can spend the night there if you are willing to disconnect from everything and to enjoy by yourself some activities in this beautiful place. It's a great opportunity to spend there the night, to get relaxed, and you can get back to town next day. Then we have Brazo Tristeza Expedition. This is a almost 3 or 4 hour tour. It doesn't leave from Puerto Pañuelo. It leaves from Bahía López, really near to Puerto Pañuelo. And here you will be navigating as well the Nahuel Huapi Lake, but another branch, the Tristeza branch. And once you reach to the end of this branch, you will be getting off the boat and you will follow a trail across a thick forest. It's a very easy trail without any difficulties, so it's a soft trekking for all ages. Then once you are getting back to town in the boat, you will be having lunch on board. Here's the thing. Here is not a ferry, it's a boat. It has a capacity for almost 50 people. So we recommend to hire this excursion with enough time in order to have a space in the boat, right? And another tip, if you have some passengers that maybe would love to take the Andean crossing tour, but they don't have the budget or the time, well, we recommend to offer Puerto Blest and Cascada de los Cántaros. Why? Because it is the half of the tour, it's the Argentine part of the Andean crossing. Yes. Well, we also have the chance to hire private boats to navigate some different lakes of the region and have a private sightseeing tour. Well, we also have adventure activities such as stand-up paddle, kayaking, rafting, scuba diving, and kite surfing. Most of these activities you'll be able to do them during the whole year, except perhaps rafting, that the rafting season is from beginning of springtime during September till the first days of autumn in April, right? But then next of these activities I have mentioned, you'll be able to practice them during the whole year in Bariloche. Well, for those who love fishing, Bariloche offers different sceneries for this activity from November till the end of April. Although in Moreno Lake, fishing is permitted during all year round. As we are in a national park, the condition is catch and release, and we always recommend to hire professional fishing guides. They will provide you their services and programs of different types of duration to enjoy this activity. Perhaps you can combine a fishing day with a horseback riding activity or a trekking activity, or perhaps you can go in a fishing tour for more than 2 or 3 days. So we always recommend to contact professional fishing guides. Our mountains. Well, we are going to talk about traditional activities in our mountains. The first one is Mount Tronador. This is one of my favorites too because of its stunning views. It is located at 90 kilometers from Bariloche, and it's a whole day excursion. Once you get to Tronador, you'll enjoy the views to the Ventisquero Negro, which is one of the 7 glaciers this mountain has. If you like walking, well, there's a soft trekking that you will take to the Garganta del Diablo Cascade. It's a really interesting view, and it's a very, very nice excursion. Then we have Cerro Otto cable car. It is at 5 kilometers from town, and you'll be ascending to the top of the mountain in this red cable car you see here in the pictures. Once you get to the top of the mountain, you will find a spinning cafeteria that will delight you with a 360 degrees view from the city and its surroundings. You can walk through the woods. The trails are really easy to follow, and you really don't need to be fit for these walks. During winter, you can enjoy in this mountain different winter activities. I will talk about winter in a few minutes, but it is a place to be visited during whole year. Then we have Short Circuit and Mount Campanario. Well, here, as we don't have a city tour, we like to offer it like a kind of city tour from Bariloche, because in 3 hours it will show you what's Bariloche about. You will get to know the Bariloche's landscapes, the nature we are surrounded by. And if you get to the top of Cerro Campanario, the Mount Campanario, well, you'll be shocked by its incredible views to our lakes and mountains. I can assure you, this is one of the most beautiful views you'll find in our city, and it's really near from Bariloche. It's at 19 kilometers, more or less, this mount. Here, as I told you before, along this tour of Circuito Chico, you will find some breweries. So it is a great option to combine nature and gastronomy. You can get to these breweries, get to know how's the process of the crafted beer. You can try their beers, and of course you can have a lunch, dinner, or you can have a snack if you want. So it's a great chance to combine both activities. And of course, as we are the heart of the adventure tourism in Argentina, because of the great amount of activities, adventure activities you can practice during the whole year, well, we have different sceneries for these activities. Mount Catedral, Mount Cerro Otto, and Mount Lopez are some of the sceneries where you'll be able to practice mountain biking, canopy, horseback riding, paragliding, zip lining, and 4x4 tours. Well, for those who love hiking and trekking, from the 1st of September, when springtime becomes, we become one destination really visited for those who love walking. And we have the biggest high network of high mountain shelters. This means that if you get to the top of a mountain and you are thinking to spend the night there, well, you have a shelter, and next day you can connect with another mountain and another shelter, and you can spend the night in the other place without having the necessity to get down or to move to another part of the city to get to these different mountains. They are really well connected, and you can spend more than 4 days visiting different mountains and shelters. Well, I've been talking about our forests, our lakes, our mountains, and now I'm going to talk about something completely different. It's the opposite of what I've been talking about, and are our grasslands. You will find our grasslands at 40 kilometers from town. It's really near. You see, you don't have to move too long to get different landscapes here in Bariloche. At 20 kilometers to the west, you will see part of the Valdivian rainforest, and at 40 kilometers to the east, you'll find the grasslands. Majestic horizons, immensity, and a different type of vegetation, much more stumpy, and a lot of adventure activities you'll find here. Here the programs are half and full day, and you have the option to combine different activities such as horseback riding, mountain biking, hiking, bird watching, or fishing as well. And then Patagonian lunch, like a barbecue or empanadas, are also offered during these activities. Here in this picture, you'll see the Limay River. It is a great scenery for fishing as well, or for having fun with stand-up rafting. I don't know if you have heard about stand-up rafting. It's like a similar board that you could use for stand-up paddle, but the difference is that it's much longer. Here you have, you can stand on top at almost 8 people, and it's really funny because you'll see 8 people trying to not to fall down into the river, and it's an activity that goes very well for team building or for families. It's really great, and of course we recommend to take this kind of activities from September till April. If you practice this activity during winter, it's not that you can do it, but it's really cold. So we recommend springtime and summer for these kind of activities. It's really challenging. Well, here's the winter. It's impossible not to talk about the winter, one of our peak seasons, when Bariloche becomes one of the most visited cities in Argentina by inbound tourism and Brazilians. The city has 3 snow parks. They are located at 5 kilometers from town in the Cerro Otto hillside. And there you'll find different types of activities such as cross-country skiing, sleds, donas, snow motorbike tours. And we recommend these snow parks for those who are touching the snow for the very first time, or if they perhaps are not interested on skiing or snowboarding, well, they can visit these snow parks and try some different activities. Then we have, at 90 kilometers from town, the largest ski resort in Latin America, Cerro Catedral, Mount Catedral. It offers 34 lifts, 60 acres ready for skiing, 1 terrain park, 120 kilometers of slopes and trails. And at the villa, you'll find 7,000 beds. The villa works as a very small town where you'll find shopping, restaurants, pubs, accommodation of all types of range. If you are looking for a 4-star hotel, well, there you have it. Or perhaps you're thinking about renting an apartment or a bungalow, well, they have it there as well. Or a hostel with very good services. Well, yes, Cerro Catedral is a very good option during winter to spend the night there. And they also have a very colorful nightlife during winter. So for those who are just interested on skiing and perhaps they are not looking for anything else, Mount Catedral is really the best option for them. As our winter is during your summer, many athletes visit Bariloche to continue their training for the next races they have next year. And during summer, this ski center offers adventure activities such as bike park or trekking. Events. Almost 30% of the adventure races that take place in our country are in Bariloche. This is in part because of the difficulty our land offers, the amazing landscapes we have, and the excellence of our DMCs, who are really keen on organizing different types of venues. Congresses, incentives, conferences are part of Bariloche's proposal. And we have the Bariloche Bureau, who offers suppliers and designs creative events. So we always recommend PCOs to contact the Bariloche Bureau, perhaps if they are thinking about bringing their venue to our city. We have very well-known sports events, such as the Open Shimano, the Ironman, the Columbia Crossing. So you'll see that the city is really well prepared to receive different types of adventure venues and different types of congresses and team buildings activities. Well, we always recommend to contact with Bariloche Bureau. Then we have some strategic events that the city hall organizes every year, such as the Fiesta del Chocolate, Chocolate Festival, during Easter, with lots of activities for the whole family. Then we have the National Snow Festival, La Fiesta de la Nieve, which is during winter. It's a celebration for the snow season, with free activities in Cerro Catedral and in town for everyone who's visiting us. In October, we have Bariloche a la carta. This is a gastronomic festival. It's really interesting. Many cookers from different parts of Argentina visit us. They give some classes of cooking. Here you have the chance to try different dishes that are designed for this festival. And hotels make a very good discount for this venue. It's a very, very nice festival that is growing every year a little bit more. And of course, then we have Christmas. The city dresses up for Christmas with lots of activities for the whole family, and begins from the 1st of December till the 6th of January, when the Magic Kings arrive to town. Well, we are more or less giving an end to this presentation. Here you'll find our website, barilocheturismo.gov.ar. Here you'll find a label named operators, and there you'll find lots of information and material that you can download for your brochures or your websites. You have maps, seasonal flyers, our official videos, everything you need, you'll find it there. And of course, you'll find our social media that we invite you to follow us, where you'll find all the information of House Bariloche every day. Some distinctive features that we have here in Bariloche that makes us so special. Well, we are the northern Patagonian access. The city has some binational tours. Our airport functions as an air hub for the region. Our city is prepared to receive people during the whole year, and it suits to every type of budget. Yeah, I think this is something really important. We have a vast range of services, such as great gastronomy, great accommodation, great services. You'll see that to visit the region, it's not really necessary to travel really far from Bariloche. It's everything really near, and you'll find lots of different surroundings and activities. And we are the national capital of adventure travel. So for those who love travel adventure activities, I can assure you that Bariloche is the place to be visited. Well, we'll be giving an end to this presentation, and before we go to the questions, I would like to invite you to see a video, and then we'll continue with the questions. So thank you very much.
Well, thank you, Mariana. Beautiful destinations. One of my favorites in Patagonia. I invite you and also Eduardo to turn on the webcam again. We are going to some of the questions. So we are going to start. What about the wildlife that you could find in Bariloche and all the zone?
Well, you can find different types of animals. It's not that you're going to find bears like in some parts of the States or Canada. Mostly different kinds of birds or maybe a little fox, but it's really uneven that you can get to find something else apart from that.
Okay. Do you have a date for the next chocolate festival?
Yes, it is during the Easter season. So I believe, I cannot remember right now the date, but it's always when the Easter begins, this festival begins as well.
Could you explain more about the season? What is winter? Maybe you could tell us about which month is winter and which ones are the summer. Actually, now we are in winter here in Argentina.
Actually, we are now in winter. June, July, and August is our winter season, and December, January, and February are our summer seasons. Yeah.
Okay, how many days do you suggest for a tour to stay in Bariloche?
Well, if you have time, I would recommend at least like minimum 3 nights, because you've seen that the city has a lot of things to offer you, and in less than 3 nights you will be missing lots of things. I wouldn't say that you've been in Bariloche if you stay less than 3 nights.
Yes, correct. Okay, one more about fly fishing that probably you talk about, but maybe you could explain a bit more about that. What type of fish, and can they be taken home?
No, well, it's catch and release. As we are in a national park, you just can take only one piece, and you are gonna fish trouts. We have different types of trouts. I don't know what's the name in English. Brown trout, rainbow trout are part of the trouts you're gonna find here.
Okay.
You can, yeah.
No, it's fine. Sorry.
Okay. We have different sceneries and rivers and lakes to fish, like the Nahuel Huapi Lake, the Moreno Lake, River Limay. It's one of our favorites. And in all the region, you'll be finding different types of trouts. If you're lucky, a rainbow trout. And if you're not so lucky, perhaps a brown one.
Okay. One more, I could answer this because they are asking if visa is necessary for US. Actually, no. US and Canadian, they don't need visa, and there's no more also the reciprocity fee that you usually had to pay. So it's canceled, so you don't need anything, just a valid passport to come to all the countries, to Argentina, and of course to Bariloche. One more question. When is the opening hotel business? Where is going to be the city open? Maybe it's very important, Mariana, if you could tell us about Cerro Catedral that just opened today for the people just in Bariloche. We are starting to open in some cities of Argentina. We don't have an exactly date, but probably soon it's going to be. But if you want to talk more about Catedral.
Well, today we are really happy in town because today our ski center has opened. It is just for local people who it's not opened for tourism, but I think this is one little more step to get back to normality. Every supplier is sharing and updating every day new protocols that will be implementing when everything is reopened, but we don't have any certainty about dates by now.
Yes, that's right. And also in all the country, we are working in the protocols. Some of them we are ready to open, but well, we need the authorization of the open border. So I think that it's going to be very soon, but we don't have an exactly date. Again, I'm talking to you that this webinar has been recorded. I have some question about that, as we told at the beginning. So shortly, maybe 2 hours before, after we are finishing, you will receive an email. So I would like to say thank you, Mariana, for this great presentation. One of our favorite destinations in Patagonia, also from Eduardo. Eduardo is a Bariloche lover.
Oh, yes, yes.
You are mute, Edu. Just unmute your microphone.
Hello.
Now, yes, that's right.
Thank you for the Bariloche Tourism Board for this presentation, and Mariana. And thank you for everyone in the other side of the screen for supporting us. Any single travel specialist who are supporting this in this webinar, and waiting for you next week for our next seminar. Okay, thank you very much. Enjoy, have a very nice weekend.
Thank you, Eduardo. Thank you, Mariana. And see you soon to all of you. So take care and see you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Estamos esperando esos momentos, el de volver a sentir los rayos de sol en nuestra cara, respirar ese aire fresco por las mañanas, sentir la naturaleza que nos rodea, el comenzar de una nueva aventura o ese momento íntimo de conectarnos con nosotros mismos. Volver a brindar con amigos y bailar con desconocidos. Esperamos en casa, de norte a sur, de este a oeste, en cada rincón de Argentina. Esperamos que vuelvas al fin del mundo. O quizás al principio de todo. Viajá desde tu casa.